Aloha and welcome to Goddess Unleashed. This is Diane Vick, and on today's episode, I'm very excited for this special global healing series, which I'm calling De-Stress the Holidays, because this is going to air on Thanksgiving. And I know that everyone wants to connect with their deep sense of thanks during this season and begin to appreciate life for what it is, exactly how it is right now, but also as a healing episode for anyone that's experienced COVID-19, whether it's within their own bodies or a close family member that experienced COVID-19. On the second half, we're going to do a unique blessing and stress relief strategy. So I do invite you to tune into that. But for right now, I'm excited to interview my guest, who is a fellow author, and she's also in the Crappy to Happy series with me, Stories of Transformational Joy. This is Bonnie Mclean. She is an acupuncture physician and integrative medicine physician, and she focuses on creating a balance or homeostasis through different modalities and working with clients to really help them heal their bodies, mind, and soul. Bonnie, can you introduce yourself?
Thank you, Diane. It's such a pleasure to be able to be online with you again. I always enjoy this. I practice in the Panhandle of Florida. I work with in a chiropractic office, actually. We have 2 chiropractors, 2 massage therapists, and me, the acupuncturist. I don't know what else to tell you. I did write a book called Integrative Medicine, The Return of the Soul to Healthcare. And I feel like what I do, I guess I'm not a traditional acupuncturist as much as what I call an integrative medicine practitioner. And I use acupuncture for my main modality, but I also use energy work and hypnosis and guided imagery and energy healing, such as homeopathy and flower essences. So, I've been doing this like probably 50 years, I think. And I feel like everybody is very different. Everybody's very unique, and everybody is their own self-healer, really. And all I do is help a person find their own healer within, help them empower themselves into their own healing process. And a lot of times the acupuncture can help kickstart, can help catalyze that healing process and also support it. But to me, we are our own healers. And anybody that thinks that we're fixing somebody else, I think we're deluded. So it's the patient that to me is really their own doctor, and I like to support that.
I love that you share how we work with the clients to bring out their uniqueness and for them to find their own healing potential, because that is really the goal of any healer. Adversely, from where I come from, 16 years as a nurse, that's a very different practice. So I like combining the 2 realms and knowing that our medical history doesn't have to be our fate, that we don't have to settle for only going into conventional medicine, that we can find alternatives like this and advocate for our healing in the process. And sometimes it means we combine different modalities and we learn from different healers, different strategies. So on my journey, I know I've been exposed to many different healers, taken many classes, and combined many modalities. And we have a lot that align from when I was looking at your website. So you talk about EFT, you talk about energy healing, herbal therapy, and those are all things that I use on my own journey, but I also use with my clients. So I think it's so powerful to create something that really is unique for the individual and help them on their healing journey.
I agree with you. I think doctor, the word doctor came from the root of teacher. And, with my background, similar to yours, having been an RN for 20 years before I was doing the work that I'm doing now, I have a deep respect for Western medicine. And, I kind of play devil's advocate to both sides. If I have somebody that only believes in one and not the other, and they won't consider the other one, I always try to find more of a middle ground. And I have found there have been a few times in my practice that I had patients that came in and they only wanted natural medicine. And the symptoms they were telling me about told me that no, they needed to see an MD. And I really believed, at least I can think of 2 people I feel like that saved their lives, because they went to an MD and they both had cancer. So, you know, there's a place for both, but I think our Western medicine, it's wonderful for life-saving situations, accidents, injuries, acute problems, infections that might be life-threatening, that kind of thing. But I really feel like for preventive medicine and keeping ourselves healthy in general so that we don't become ill again, that's more in the domain of our natural medicine that you and I practice now. We do have very similar backgrounds.
I love it. I didn't realize you were a nurse too. That's so cool.
I loved it when I did it. I burned out. You know, I saw the hospitals changing. I couldn't spend the time that I could in the beginning listening to patients or even touching them. You know, they kind of moved my role into supervising and, you know, making the notes and that kind of thing. And it wasn't so much one-on-one working with the patient, which I get to do now as an acupuncturist. So now I'm doing what I went into nursing to do. And, you know, I just do it in, you know, the same kind of way, really. I think that listening and touching and love are the healers. And I don't believe any true deep healing can happen without those things.
Oh, absolutely. And I love that we're able to combine the different modalities together to actually create a unique experience for everyone that comes to us. Mm-hmm. And even like this on a social platform with a podcast, just simply sharing our message and our story. Mm-hmm. Can you let us know what your crappy to happy story was?
Yes, and actually so many things have happened since we even wrote our chapters for that book, haven't they? We've had the pandemic, and then we've had a hurricane here in my area that took a toll. And I've had COVID myself, so there are a lot of things that have happened since. But I talked about my childhood, and I was a very wounded little girl. We all were. Both my parents were alcoholics, and Dad had PTSD from World War II. And I really believe that the alcohol was his way of coping. They drank, that generation drank and smoked a lot. I mean, all his fellow doctors drank and smoked quite a bit too. So both my parents, they were chain smokers, and they were both alcoholics. My mother was an Irish woman, and her father was an alcoholic. So she must have gotten some tendencies from that. And then it was kind of like, if you can't beat them, join them. So she and Dad just partied together a lot until they kind of damaged themselves. And so, but we grew up not feeling safe in our environment and not feeling very nurtured, because we just, you know, our parents really weren't that present. So it took me a while to realize that I was wounded, because I had become successful in my profession, but I had some low-level depression that I just didn't seem to be able to shake, and my intimate relationships were difficult. And, you know, it was hard for me to let people really in close to me. And so I would select partners, men who made that easy, because they were usually either very narcissistic, and so I could practice my codependency. Or they were practicing some kind of addiction where I could do my codependency again. So it took me a while. I was in therapy for probably, I would say, about 8 years out in Southern California. And I could understand on a head level what happened. I understood about the alcoholic families and everything. But it was like I still wasn't getting to something deep enough to really make a deep change. And it was actually through the shamanic work that I was able to start really transforming the change. And I really think it was because they work with the heart. At least they did with me. They touched my heart, and by using their heart. And I spent probably 15, 20 years, receiving healings, traveling all over the world, but also learning from my shamanic teachers in this country and in other parts of the world. So, you know, North America, South America, Central America, Australia, Bali, I went to China, Japan in my search, and I realized that it wasn't a matter of fixing myself as much as learning to love myself as I am. And by loving myself as I am, being the flawed human being that I think we all are, as long as we're in a body, we have certain things that we're still working with, that's okay. And it allows me to have compassion for other people. So my compassion for myself and other people was able to deepen, through that experience. And those experiences have helped me get through the time with COVID. And what COVID taught me was, again, the self-care, but I had to learn it on a deeper level. And I also learned that prayer is real, because I really felt like I could feel the prayers from people. And I really felt like that was a huge part of my healing process. I've always believed in prayer, but it's kind of like on a different level. Like I know that it's real and that it does work.
It absolutely does. And I don't think it matters what religion you believe in, what you were raised in, whatever it is that you believe in is prayer. Whatever type of prayer you do is beneficial to you. And that is something that I not only learned on my journey, but I actually heard it from physicians. So back when I had really bad digestive issues and my doctor didn't know what the heck to do with me, he sent me to a psychiatrist who told me faith is important. Mm-hmm. So if that helps you, and it helps a lot of people, go to church, pray, get a community. And that is what helps people heal through the process. Mm-hmm. One of the other things he said, which I didn't want to hear at that point, was a lot of people that have digestive issues like you had some form of abuse. Now, I wasn't ready to deal with that yet until this past year. So my story in the book, Crappy to Happy, talks about my abuse and how I forgave those who abused me, but I had not actually worked through fully forgiving myself for that experience until the past few weeks. So Bonnie is aware of some of the things I've gone through, but not everybody else, because I've been working on that self-love and working on healing myself as I tell my story, to be able to really reach more people and spread love to other children that have experienced this same kind of trauma in their childhood.
Wow, you brought up two really important points. I feel like the shame that if we're abused, that we feel like, I've read that the difference in guilt and shame is that guilt is realizing we did something wrong and wanting to make amends, but shame is feeling like we are wrong, that we didn't make a mistake, we are the mistake. And it's like this low level number that we do our own self-esteem, and that gets in the way of the self-love. And the other point that you made was community, the healing power of community. I really feel like, and especially now, it's so important, during this COVID time, that we reach into our community. But I feel like we're not a rock and an island. We are part of a human species, and it's important to know that in community, we take turns falling, and then we have a person on each side to lift us back up. And we take turns. We all are fallible, and we all have our time.
I love that you shared that. And we're all here to support each other. And one of the things that I've been working on as I've worked through my trauma is realizing that our intuition is meant for a reason, that if we get a thought of someone in our head all of a sudden, that it is really an opportune time for us to reach out to them, whether it's by text message or call, especially now that we're so very disconnected from our community and our family and our friends. Mm-hmm. And usually what happens is we put that on the back burner, we completely forget about it, and then we never call them. And I know that you are aware, in that process of COVID-19 and working through my trauma, my cousin passed away. And she came into my mind many times, but I never reached out. And in order for us not to have that regret within us, we have to take action when the moment comes. So I think it's great that we are creating this healing episode today so that we can empower people to reconnect to their family, even if it's from distance, and begin to heal and connect with that gratitude for Thanksgiving.
Yes, I think the timing is really wonderful. I lost my train of thought. I had one comment I was going to make about that, but it'll come back.
Oh, it's okay. Tell us about your experience with COVID, because I know you were in the hospital and you were feeling very ill, but you felt the power of prayer. Tell us about that.
Yes, I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. I never was on a ventilator, although that was going to be the next step if I didn't start turning things around. There were a couple things that happened with that. I felt I was alone because I was in isolation, and the nurses did not come in my room very often because they were told not to, because they had to put on all that garb every single time. And a lot of them were catching the COVID. 2 of my patients had it already, and they were trying to get back on their feet, but they had that long haul COVID where they still were very fatigued. But there was one nurse, he was a young man, and he came in one day and he noticed that all I wanted to do was just lie there and sleep. I didn't want to move. The fatigue is so profound with that illness. And that's the one common denominator. We all seem to have different other symptoms. Mine were digestive, interestingly. But yeah, I didn't even get the lung stuff until I'd had it for, I think, 2 weeks, and then it started sinking into my lungs. But he looked at me one day and he said, "This virus wants to kill you. And the way it does that is it makes you not want to move. It makes you not want to do anything. It makes you not even want to deep breathe. If you want to live, you have to start moving. You have to breathe deep. You have to make yourself breathe. You have to make yourself get up as much as you can. Sit on the side of the bed or get us to get you up in a chair or something, but make sure that you move." And it was all I could do to follow his instructions, but I really felt like that made a difference. I did get to that crisis point where the virus does sink down deep down in the lungs, and I did have pneumonia, and it was a touch and go place where I really felt at peace. I felt like I almost had kind of like a near-death experience, because even though I was alone in the room, I didn't feel alone. I didn't feel the isolation. I felt kind of like at one with everything, and I felt very deeply peaceful. And I really felt like it was okay if I left, that I was going to be okay. And I was at peace with all of that. And I started feeling the prayers that people were sending me. And there was like this warmth, and it was almost like I even knew who was, like the telepathy you're talking about, the ESP. And I realized people love me and I love them, and I'm not ready to go. I want to stay here, and I want to be with my community and be with my family and be with my friends. And no, I'm not going to go. I'm not ready to go. And that, I feel like that was when there was a huge shift. And the doctors were wonderful. They did all the experimental stuff on me, thank goodness. They did the remdesivir and they did the convalescent plasma. And I was on a lot of meds, I have to admit, and I'm not a fan of meds, but I'm very grateful for them. And I feel like the combination of the physical work and the spiritual, those two areas I feel like came together, and that was why I'm still here. And I left with such a deep sense of gratitude that I don't think I've ever experienced it quite that deeply. Things that I had taken for granted, just like being able to take a deep breath. And I know you're very into the health aspects and healing aspects of breathing, and just being able to get up in the morning and to be alive and to be in my body. And I've healed. I don't have the long haul. The only aftermath I've had is some hair loss, and I'm working on that, and I'm turning that around. So I feel really blessed that way. And now I just feel grateful to be alive and grateful to be who I am, where I am.
I'm glad you found the gratitude through the experience and are able to share your story, because I think it is important. I find it very interesting that the doctor told you that this virus requires you to move, that you have to take action, that your body was basically fall apart unless you do. Because that on my journey, that is what I realized, that my syndrome, I have a genetic syndrome, was going to stop me. I was going to become disabled unless I took action. My autoimmune disease was taking over my body and my digestive tract wasn't working. My hair was falling out. I had to choose to make that change for myself. And I had to find those mindful activities and find the power of prayer and work on healing the body. And I think there's a big power in combining those modalities, even with a virus like this, to help people come out of it. And I know a lot of people have had lingering effects, which is why we're going to do that second half to really give them some inspiration to help clear some of that negativity that may be inside their bodies, to help them feel more balanced, to feel the power of prayer and connect with their family now in the holidays, even if it's from a distance. So I'm excited that we're doing this together.
Yes.
Any last words about the story? Because we're about to close off this half and start the second half.
The only thing I'd like to mention is that I have a lot of information on COVID on my webpage. And I have a PowerPoint and supplements that people can take to keep their immune systems up or to get healthy again if they've been ill. And it's www.spiritgatemedicine.com. That's all I wanted to say.
Awesome. So make sure you check that out, especially even if you're just preparing and you haven't been exposed to COVID, or maybe you know someone that you can help with that information. Go ahead and check that out. Stay tuned for the second half. We're going to do the healing part of it and de-stress the holidays. This is Diane Vick. Aloha. Aloha and welcome back. This is Diane Vick, and we are back for the healing portion of this episode. I do invite you to listen till the end so you get some inspiration and de-stress for the holidays. When we ended, we talked about Bonnie's website, and she had some tips for COVID-19 as she did experience it, and she's going to share a couple of tips here before we jump into that activity. So go ahead, Bonnie.
All right. Well, if anybody does have an acupuncturist, I would recommend that you see them. If you don't, you might just kind of look into it, because I do treat a lot of people. Acupuncture can help your immune system get stimulated. It can decrease stress, which we need to, so that because stress makes the body inflamed, and that can lead us to illness. It can help us sleep. So I would recommend that, but there are also supplements and herbs that can be helpful to prevent and also to help you keep your immune system strong if you are ill, and to help you get better afterwards during your recovery time. So the supplements I would recommend, and actually they gave me these three when I was in the hospital. I was very impressed that they were giving me supplements in the hospital. They gave me vitamin C, vitamin D3, and zinc. If you don't take anything else, I would recommend those. And I continue to take those. Also, some of the herbs, astragalus is a wonderful Chinese herb for prevention, and also if you're not feeling well. And reishi is one of the Chinese mushrooms. Any of the Chinese or Japanese mushrooms are very therapeutic. Some people eat and cook with shiitake, and that works extremely well. Quercetin helps vitamin C get into the cells. So that was kind of a new one for me to learn about. And if we take vitamin D3 for a long time, you probably want to add some K2 with it, vitamin K2 to help balance that out. Omega-3s, B12, and folate are important. A probiotic, magnesium, selenium, and actually melatonin has an antiviral effect. I didn't realize that. Another Chinese herb that also has an antiviral, and it also helps the body detoxify, is one called bupleurum, Bupleurum. But as I said, all of those are on my webpage. So I'll continue. I have a blog there on COVID, and I'll continue to add to it as I learn more information. So, and also, oh, let me just mention teas. Hot lemon water. If you squeeze a half of a lemon in hot water and maybe put a little honey in it, you can also add garlic and ginger to that, and some apple cider vinegar. That was a drink that I drank every day when I was ill, and I still continue to at least drink the hot lemon water. And ginger tea is very tasty. So, and green tea. So those things I would recommend. Teas are easy to get down too, and you can sip on them all day.
I love teas. I'm always drinking teas, and I usually go with my gut and instinct when I need a certain boost in herbs. And I love chamomile. That's like my go-to. Chamomile and lavender is my absolute favorite. Mm-hmm. Obviously, local honey. So I use usually Florida local honey, and you're a Floridian too, so I'm sure you can find some up there.
I know.
I know. Of course, you're wearing a sweater and I'm wearing a dress, but it's all good. But thank you for the tips. I think that's important for people to not only feed the body good, healthy food, because we want to be eating a lot of fruits and vegetables. We want to boost our immune system with what we eat, because food is medicine, but also getting some supplements in your house or in your cupboards to help prepare you in case you catch this virus, or to help support your family in healing from the virus is a great tool to have.
Absolutely. Yes, and I love your work that we're getting ready to do on de-stressing, because again, I can't stress too much about the stress. All of us are to an extent, aren't we, with the whole pandemic and the way we've had to change our lifestyles. So I think it's important that whatever somebody does find that works for them, some people it's yoga or Tai Chi or Qigong or just walking, being out in nature, and you know, the meditation and the breathing that you're getting ready to introduce.
Definitely. I think it's important to find what modalities work for you. Get out there, do exercise, breathe fresh air. We all need fresh air. You don't have to get near other people to breathe fresh air if you're outdoors in your neighborhood or your backyard. And it's a great opportunity for you to combine different modalities and begin to heal the body. We're going to do some fun little activities now. I'm going to read from an angel book that I like to get some inspiration before we start. So this one is called Growth. I picked this card before we started the episode, and I think everyone is really going through a big transition of growth on this journey through COVID-19. It's almost going to be a year coming up in 2021. So it's going to be a unique period of growth. So let's see. Growth is rapid or gradual development. It increases in size, weight, and power. It is something that has grown. This is often a card validating that you have learned from your experiences. It can also mean that more challenges give you the opportunity needed to grow. This is an awakening card. You will not be allowed to sit complacently in your comfort zone and vegetate. Energies are aligning to allow you to stretch. Turn stumbling blocks into stepping stones. Challenges push you forward. Prepare for substantial increase and expansion. Reach out and be open to change. Often we resist the universe provides by pulling the rug out from under us. Let go of your tendency to struggle. Changes occurring at this time can be springboards to bigger and better things ahead if you let them. Situations will present themselves that will allow you to grow. Remember, you have a choice as to how you handle them. There are no mistakes, just opportunities to learn and grow. Have the courage to keep asking questions, even when the answers make you uncomfortable. New progress and realizations are at hand. Expand your horizons, proceed forward with a strong knowing from within.
That is so perfect. It's so perfect for this. Yes, thank you for that. To me, it's just, I mean, right on the money of our time right now.
Absolutely. And for me, I've been going through so many episodes of growth as I, told my parents about the abuse, as I work through realizing where do we give away our power in relationships, struggles, you get stressed out in this time, especially since we're approaching the holidays and we don't really know what's going to happen next week. Are we going to be able to meet with people? So I think it's a good little inspiration. And since I know many people aren't probably going to be able to get together with their family, I want to do this little activity with you. Okay. So we're going to do 5 compliments. So those that are listening, those that are watching, I invite you to, whether it is get a picture of your family member or call them up on video and try this little activity with them. So you would pick 5 words starting with a letter and just say those words to that person. You want to give compliments to them and make them feel good, but these words actually also help you feel good too. Because many times when we compliment someone, it's actually something within us that we're complimenting also. So I'm going to go ahead and do that for Bonnie first. So we chose the letter L. So I see Bonnie as laughter, light, loving, lovable, lighthearted.
Thank you. And Diane, I see you as sultry, sexy, soft, satisfying to connect with, and sensitive.
I like that. I like them all. Thank you. And I can tell you from just simply looking at you and seeing your smile, I can feel the emotions coming, to me, but I can also feel how it is uplifting you. Did you feel the same kind of energy?
Yes, I did. Yes. I feel like I already know you better.
That's awesome. So definitely invite those that are listening, especially if you're having a hard time with someone, or you usually have a hard time during the holidays with a particular person, then I invite you to try this little activity. Even if you don't actually verbalize it to them, it will make you feel better if you simply think of 5 reasons why you love that person. Now, the next activity that I invite you to do is actually go find an album or a picture of your family. Maybe you can't be getting together with them. I have actually found my baby album and I have it next to me. Invite you to look through those images and see if you can think of a moment in your past that maybe was around the holidays that really helped you feel grateful for your family members, and bring in that gratitude as we move into Thanksgiving. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my book here. Here you can see, that's me. I was a baby born close to Christmas. So I have these Santa Claus sheets. And in this album, I actually found a picture that I really, really like. And it happened around the time that I was abused. So I found it very intriguing that this little girl was so happy this day. But if you look at this picture, this is me graduating from preschool with my arms pumped up, feeling really grateful for that experience that I was, accomplished and getting graduation from this school. So that helps me connect with my gratitude. And then right above it is a family birthday party where I'm actually blowing out the candle. And I see myself, my cute little self with this hair, and all my cousins around me, which are still around me now. So that brings me a lot of gratitude for what's coming, to send, some messages to these family members that are in this picture that maybe I don't talk to all that often. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna move some energy through tapping. So I know Bonnie's done this with her clients and she's done it for herself. One of the things that I learned as I've been working through my trauma and getting back to my normal balanced self through this COVID-19 is that we experience emotions when we watch TV, when we're having a conversation with someone, when we're listening to the radio, and we sometimes get stuck in those emotions and they can get trapped, and we can be stuck in a certain state. So we can be feeling sad, we can be feeling overwhelmed, we can get really fatigued. And I know a lot of people are experiencing that now. So the song that I picked is actually a song for a guest that I had recently. Her name is Shyla Ray Sunshine, and the song is called Existence. And this song was the first song that actually helped me surrender before my cousin passed away. So back a few weeks ago, probably almost a month now. Yeah, it's been a month since she passed away. I was having a lot of stress and overwhelm, and those challenges were stopping me. And I would basically be getting frozen. And someone told me, you need to surrender. And I really wasn't able to surrender. And I was like, how do you do this? How do you let go of the things that are stressing you out? when I heard this song, I was actually able to surrender, and I began to cry for the first time and release the sadness that I had been holding in for such a long time. So that brought on the fact that you can actually combine things. So when you dance to music, you're able to release a lot of energies and emotions. When you hum or sing to the beat of the music, you're releasing energies and emotions too. But when you combine it with tapping, which is what EFT is, you can actually move the energy from your mind, from your body, and out much easier than if you just sing the song and let the emotions sit. So let me get that song for you, and I will do the tapping. When I'm tapping, I'm just going to simply say I'm tapping what part of my head I am tapping. And if you're watching the video or you're listening, you can go ahead and check out the video so you can see what I'm doing. Bonnie, I invite you to go ahead and tap too when I'm tapping. Now, the song is called Existence, and it is a beautiful song. Taking a deep, slow breath.
3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Exhale. Inhale again.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Exhale. Inhale.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
You start tapping your forehead, top of your head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Center of your eyebrows. Cheekbone. Under your nose. Chin. Both clavicles. Center of the chest, our thymus, our heart. Taking another deep breath. Another deep breath. So that's a really beautiful song. What she talks about is towards the end. So she starts off saying, we are powerful, but towards the end, you own it. And you're saying that you are powerful. So the most powerful thing that I've realized is when you do the EFT and you combine it at that point, when you're actually saying these affirmations for yourself, you're singing the song, you really feel it penetrate inside of your body. And it helps relieve some of that exhaustion. It helps relieve some of that overwhelm. Because I may not have had COVID-19, but I have suffered with fatigue for a very long time. And it's taken me years to, rekindle that energy and be able to release these emotions from the body. But it is very, very powerful when we do something simple like that. All right, on this part of the episode, we're actually going to do a little self-love session for foggy brain, exhaustion, being stressed and overwhelmed. And it's a simple strategy that you can use right now, whether you're watching me on video or you're simply listening. You can grab your essential oil, put a little dab on your finger. One I'm using right now is called Motivate. Smells like orange citrus. I'm gonna apply some in the center of my forehead. And I invite you to simply rub the center of your forehead, massage your forehead in a circle. Taking a deep, slow breath and really allow that sensation to calm you. Smell the essential oils and notice how relaxed you feel simply by massaging your forehead. Now I invite you to ask yourself, what emotion am I holding here? Right now I am sliding my finger up from my nose, up the center in between my eyebrows, up towards the crown of my head. What emotion are you feeling here? The emotion I am getting is regret. Taking a deep, slow breath and release whatever emotion may have arisen. Allow your mind to guide you. Whatever emotion comes up is absolutely perfect. It is your emotion. It is your intuition. Taking another deep, slow breath. And with this next breath, set an intention to release that emotion. Deep inhale, hold briefly, and exhale slowly. Inhale. Now, how do you feel after that simple strategy? We just did a little massage with an essential oil on your forehead. I feel awake, energized. I feel like I let go of some emotions that were trapped in the center of my forehead. I invite you now, as part of this healing series, is actually to massage your face today and invite more gratitude in for yourself. So as you grab your essential oils and massage your face today, just keep taking in deep breaths, massage your jaw, massage around your ears, under your chin, pulling forward. Take in deep breaths and really smell the scents of the essential oils and allow yourself to release any emotions that you may be holding in those muscles. And connect with your deep sense of gratitude on this Thanksgiving. Now, I do invite you to make sure that you spread this gratitude and love towards those around you. If you have a family member that pops into your head on this holiday or the days to come as the other holidays approach, then go ahead and call them. Send them a text message, send them an email, whatever it is you are comfortable with. But it will send them a nice message to bring them some support and guidance during this unique time that everyone is experiencing. I hope this was inspirational and de-stressed you a little bit as we approach the holidays to come. This is Diane Vick. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Global Healing Series, and I do invite you to give a little donation to help me support the children that have learning disabilities or have been abused, so I can send them out some beautiful gift boxes filled with activities to help them de-stress and find a little calm amidst the chaos that may be happening in their homes or around them. This is Diane Vick. Aloha. I invite you to close your eyes and relax. Allow the sound of my voice to guide you deeper and deeper into a state of complete relaxation. This little meditation is to de-stress the holidays. There's nothing to do, nothing to think about. We're simply breathing, relaxing, and letting go. Allow the sound of my voice and any noises that may arise to help you sink deeper and deeper into a state of complete relaxation as we imagine the holidays coming upon us. Taking another deep, slow breath and relax. Notice how your body settles deeper and deeper into a state of relaxation. There's nothing to do and nothing to think about. We're simply breathing, relaxing, and letting go. I invite you to imagine that you are at Thanksgiving, a Thanksgiving from your past, one that brought you great joy, where you felt really loved, supported, and connected with your entire family. This was a moment where you really felt joy and connection. Taking another deep, slow breath and feel those joyful, happy emotions flowing throughout your body. Allow that memory to really sink in and help you relax even deeper. I invite you to notice the smells that come to mind from that beautiful day on Thanksgiving. Imagine that you are there, smelling those scents. Maybe it's your favorite meal, your favorite dish, your favorite dessert. Whatever scents come to mind are perfect. Allow them to sink in even deeper. Maybe you taste that food that you truly enjoy, sending even more calming sensations throughout your body as you feel completely relaxed, filled with gratitude for this beautiful Thanksgiving day. Now I invite you to picture or imagine one person that you are most grateful for on this Thanksgiving day. Picture them in your mind and allow 5 complimenting words to simply arise in your mind. And imagine that you are sharing those words with them and they are sharing 5 compliments with you. And notice how calm, peaceful, and relaxed you feel, and how the gratitude grows stronger and deeper within you with each word that comes to mind. That's right. Each word that you state helps you connect to your calm and balance. And each word that they state helps you connect with your joy and gratitude. I invite you now to take in another deep, slow breath and notice how relaxed and peaceful you feel. How this simple strategy has helped you reconnect with your thanks and gratitude for this special holiday that is approaching. And anytime you want to connect with that sense of gratitude, all you need to do is simply close your eyes, take in a deep breath, and imagine that moment once again. Smell the food, hear the sounds, hear those beautiful words of gratitude, and reconnect with this moment. But soon you will awaken, and all of these calming, soothing energies will remain with you, connecting you with your gratitude today. 1, you're slowly awakening now, feeling a deep sense of gratitude and thanks for this Thanksgiving. 2, you are completely relaxed and peaceful and ready to open your eyes. 3, I invite you to open your eyes and take a moment today to say 5 kind words to someone you love. Now, the other thing I like to do is be a little silly. So you know I'm wearing a wig today, Bonnie. You can see it, but not everybody can. But part of Wacky Wednesday, because we're recording this technically on a Wednesday, is that we connect with our inner child and have a little bit of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and be a little silly. And I invite you that if you are at home and you're feeling a little bit of stressed out or anxious or anything like that, you can shift it by simply being silly in the moment and looking at yourself in the mirror. No, I'm not really looking at myself in the mirror. I'm looking at Bonnie in the phone, but you're going to get the picture, Bonnie. Let's see what comes to me to be silly right now. There's something that I do with my son. We haven't done it in a while. He's going to be 11 now, but we used to do this silly monkey walk around the house. And it can be done at any age, and it makes you laugh. So I'm gonna be a little monkey and do a silly monkey walk now.
Okay.
And there you go, Bonnie's laughing and I'm being silly. So hopefully that was a little bit of inspiration for me being silly. I know that being silly at this time during this crisis sometimes can be hard because we're balancing so many things. We don't have our normal routine, and we're definitely not getting together with family. But one of the things that my family likes to do, I don't know if you've ever done it, we like doing karaoke.
I've never done it.
Never done it. We did it for my sister's birthday a few weeks back, and I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get together with the whole COVID-19 thing happening, because some of the people in the family have recently had the virus and we don't want to spread it. But it is something that you can even do virtually now. You can actually Zoom in together and sing or have fun or have a virtual party. So I invite you to try that on this unique Thanksgiving, whatever it may be, and keep an open mind and definitely give compliments to those that are around you so that they can feel more loved and supported. So anytime someone pops into your head over this next week, I invite you to send them a text message, maybe give them 5 statements that you're grateful for them and help them feel that love and gratitude. I hope this episode was inspirational. This is Diane Vick. I hope you enjoyed that short little de-stress the holidays meditation on this episode. Stay tuned for the next episodes to come and more inspiration and healing on this global healing series. This is Diane Vick. Aloha.